box of garlic has arrived, and that means we can get these in the ground now and start experimenting with planting a whole bunch of different varieties of garlic this year. All right, let's open it up. G'day, it's Rachel here from Bush Edge Homesteading Australia, and if you caught our 2024 autumn update and our kind of garlic planting of our own garlic, you probably heard that I was going to do a bit of an experiment with garlic this year, and this little box here houses what I've been waiting for in order to do that experiment. You probably saw that the garlic that we had started getting a little bit small. I wasn't too happy with what I got from last year's crop. And that means I wanted to try some different garlic. And this is an order that I made. I actually made it a while ago and it's taken a little while to get to us. But it's a bunch of different varieties from a company that sells garlic bulbs, specifically for planting kind of purposes. And they do some different kind of varieties. And I've got a few of them here. They did send me some details when they were having some delays, so I did know that it was going to take a little bit to come to us, so I am going to be planting these a little bit later than I normally would. They did also send me a message, in fact it says here, sent text, that they were having some issues with some of the varieties as well, so it looks like I don't have the Georgian Fire and the Deerfield. I think I was expecting not to have the Deerfield. Oh no, it was the Georgian Fire I was expecting not to have. Don't think I realised the Deerfield were not coming. But anyway, we've got the Spanish Roja, Paris Market and Italian Red. And they've substituted with some different cloves. What have we got inside? You can see they've wrapped them up in some paper. Hopefully I don't lose what's in here. I'm probably using a terrible table for this, given this table's got lots of holes in it. Oh no, here I am delicately opening this paper, and there's nothing in the paper. That's just to keep everything from moving around in the box. Silly me. Yep, you know, when I share real. All right, so what have we actually got here? Alrighty, that one there, that's our Paris Market bulb. Oh, it looks like one piece has kind of come off. Thank you, Australia Post. I do have some descriptions on these ones, but let's first of all have a bit of a look at what we've got. So that's our Paris Market. We've also got this one here, which is some Georgian Fire. And those ones are kind of individual cloves there. Oh, that's interesting. Oh, so I do actually have the variety. What they've just changed is the way the varieties come. So that's the Georgian Fire. Awesome. I do have that. And what else have we got in here? That one there is our Italian Red. So I've got one clove of that one as well. There is the Spanish Roja. So that's that one. And you can see a few of these ones. They are award-winning cloves that may have helped influence my decisions on some of these. And lastly, we have the Deerfield as well. So I've actually got all the varieties I was expecting, which is really, really cool, because I actually thought they'd run out, and that's what it meant by the message. But no, what they've done is, instead of kind of the full clove like this, what they've done is they've kind of sent us the individual cloves for planting like this. Awesome. All right, well, now that I know that I'm working with 5 different varieties, I'm going to go down to the garden. We're going to plant these up, and I'll also tell you a little bit more about these different varieties that we are going to be planting today. We're now down in the garden, and I've brought down all the bits and bobs I'm going to need. Now, you might remember from that last garden video that we've already prepared this bed. So this area here, that's where we planted all of our own garlic, where we'd kind of stored the bulbs, over the summer season, and they're already in the ground. So they've been in the ground now for probably 2 weeks. And this area here is where we are going to do kind of our new multiple different varieties of experimental bulbs. And I've just realized I'm actually one area short because I do have the extra set of bulbs that I wasn't expecting today. So let me get another little spot sorted too. Alrighty, one more. There we go. So that is now going to be our area for the 5 different varieties we're going to test out today. This has already been prepared. We removed all the weeds when we got together that last time. We've also put in a whole bunch of compost, and the compost across these zones and in this area here, it's all the same. It was all put down at the same time. So I think that's going to be really good to do a bit of an experiment here, because it means all these different varieties are going to be grown in exactly the same kind of environmental conditions and in the same ground that's been improved in the same way. All right, what I did very quickly is I've already marked up just some little labels so that I know later what I've planted in each different spot, because I can have a terrible memory when it comes to what I've planted. You've probably noticed that in a few of our videos. So I'm just going to pop them like this for now, but I will stick those in the ground properly when we kind of finish up. What I'm going to do as well is just kind of keep them in a bit of an order in which I've kind of written down some notes for myself on the different varieties too. So that's where our 5 different varieties are going to go. So let's get those out. That's our Georgian fire. And I will tell you a little bit about each of these different varieties in a minute. Our Italian red. What else do we got here? The Paris Market. Deerfield. And that means last but not least in here, it's going to be that Spanish Roja. All right, so before I start planting those in the ground, I do want to share with you a little bit about each of the different varieties that we are going to plant up today. So the first one here, these are the Georgian fire. And the Georgian fire, this is actually one that I thought I was not going to be getting, but I'm excited it did come, because the way they describe this is that they're really nice big bulbs. And they also say that they are one of the hottest garlics, and we like a bit of punch in our garlic. So that one there should go really well in a lot of the cooking that we do around here. It's apparently good in kind of warm, temperate, but also a lot of the cool zones around Australia as well. So I'm hoping they go quite well here. The next one is the Deerfield variety. So the Deerfield, they kind of say is quite a bit different in terms of taste to that previous one. This one here is like a rich, deep, nutty and creamy sort of description that it's given. So obviously not going to be quite as punchy, but that might mean that I can use that, you know, like as roasted cloves to eat them whole and things. Sounds like it might be good for that sort of thing. Hardneck variety. It does say that this one bolts though, and it can strongly bolt. So that's something that I just need to keep a bit of an eye on. But that just means that we get garlic scapes. So that's not going to be the end of the world if that happens. One of the things I liked about this one is that it says it goes really good in the cooler regions in places like Victoria, which is where we are. And I should mention the place that I got these from, the Seed Garlic Shop, it's actually from here in Victoria as well. And that was one of the things I quite liked, was that, you know, these have been grown in Victorian conditions. And it actually sounds like they had a bit of a tough year, and that's why our garlic was a bit late. But they did give really good communication, and even on this information that they've sent out, they've kind of explained that a little bit as well. And being a small family business, like honestly, stuff goes wrong, and I get that. It's how companies deal with it when things go wrong. So the fact that they've been really good with the communications means, you know, I'm still pretty happy. Obviously the first time I've, you know, got any of their garlic or growing any of their garlic. So the real proof in the pudding is going to be how this all grows. All right, the next variety here is the Spanish Roja. And this one here, the description on that is that it is spicy. It says that when you're eating it, the flavour builds up to a bit of an intense heat. And I've also seen some descriptions saying it's quite a rich and sweet garlic. So that sounds quite interesting. One of the things I liked about this one is it says that this variety is really good for long storage. In fact, out of all of these, it's probably the one that has the longest storage at about 12 months. The Deerfield, that was only kind of medium storage, around 6 months. Actually, I don't think I mentioned the Georgian fire either. That's about 6 to 8 months sort of storage. So this one here at 12 months is going to store a lot longer. And we do like to have garlic throughout the year, and our own garlic wherever we can. And it's another hardneck variety for that one as well. The next one that we're testing out is going to be this one here, which is the Paris Market. And this one here is also a fairly long storage. So this is the second longest out of all these ones. This one here is about 10 months is what it says in the description. Another hardneck variety. And the way it kind of describes this one is a full flavour, but with restrained heat. Doesn't that sound a bit fancy? So it's not going to punch us in the tongue quite the same way as the Georgian fire one. But it says it is a truly unique garlic experience. So that sounds interesting. Be interesting to try that one in our cooking too. And then the last one that we've got here is the Italian Red. And the Italian Red, it says that it is a soft neck variety. So this one's a little bit different. Large, juicy, spicy cloves, easy to grow. Easy to grow is always a wonderful thing. But this one here, it says it can grow in warmer climates. So I'm not sure how this one's going to go here. I probably didn't pick that up quite so well when I was kind of choosing what I was buying. If you're up north, this one might be a better option than, say, some of those ones that we've seen down here, which can go better in the cooler areas. But yeah, we've got it now. We're going to give it a crack. And this one here, it says it's medium storage, 7 to 9 months. All right, so now that we know exactly what it is that we're going to be planting, let's get them in the ground. Alrighty, that's them all planted up. Just a couple of things you probably noticed as I was doing the planting then. There were a few areas I wasn't happy with the depth of the mulch. You know, a mulch layer is incredible, as I mentioned on my last garlic planting video, when it comes to preventing weeding and things like that, or at least reducing your weeding. But when you've got too much, it can suppress the growth of plants. So that's why I took a bit of that mulch off when I was doing that. The other thing I kind of noticed was obviously with the full bulbs, there was a lot more cloves. So I did widen out a couple of these so I could do 2 rows of the ones where I had the clove to kind of split apart. So there's going to be a lot more of those ones, which is always going to be a wonderful thing. And as you saw, kind of breaking up a clove to plant it, it's very, very easy to do. You just don't want to damage it. Do it a bit gently when you do that. And with the planting, you probably also noticed with each of the cloves, I was kind of standing them upright. The pointy bit goes up. There's like a bit of a rounder bit at the bottom, and that's where the roots come out of. That goes downwards. And I was planting about, you know, I know there's like very specific planting depths and stuff that a lot of people go by, but I tend to go by just about the height of the clove kind of under the ground. So obviously you dig a hole twice the height of your clove to get it down the bottom, and then put your soil over the top and your bit of mulch over the top of that as well. So from here, all we are going to do is wait. Obviously do a bit of a clean up, but yeah, I just wait now, and what I'll do is keep you guys updated on how each of these different ones does perform. I actually thought I saw somewhere here a couple of days ago, somewhere where I had some of our garlic just starting to pop up. So things are starting to happen. Probably not as quickly as I normally see. Normally I get them in a little bit earlier and there's still a little bit more warmth. But yeah, hopefully even though I've got a bit of a late planting, things will still go okay. And it will be super interesting just to see how all these different varieties go and what does the best for us up here in the Dandenong Ranges. But hopefully running through those different varieties, it might give you some ideas of things that might be a bit suitable for your area. And if you follow along and see how these actually go and what those bulbs actually look like when they come out of the ground, and you know, we could even follow along and see how they store up as well. Yeah, that might give you some ideas with your planting in the future too. As always, guys, thanks a bunch for joining, and catch you later.